Hi everybody, welcome back to our YouTube channel, Canadian Business Do It Right. Again, me Eugene from CBES. Today's topic of our video is the most important document for your business. And while the initial answer is very simple, of course, it's your business contract or business agreement under which you supply your services or products to your clients, the difficulties, issues, problems that you have to define in that agreement might pose certain problems for many of us. So before I start talking about the substance of the document, the technical comment. The agreement is always there. No matter what you do, no matter under which circumstances, it is there. It could be in writing, it could be verbal, it could be by conduct, but the only question would be what does it contain, not if it's there. And this is why having a proper written agreement, no matter what the service or product that you supply, is very important for almost every single business that operates in Canada. It provides you with clarity, with simplicity, with efficiency, and with predictability in your relations with the clients. And if done right, if done in proper, respectable way, it also gives your client a sense of convenience and sense of reliability in your relations. So yes, I suggest to have a written agreement that would include certain points that I'll discuss now. So first of all, pay your attention, put as much time as needed to properly define what is that exactly that you do. Your service or your product, define it and think from the client's perspective. What would client expect or want to get from you? And what exactly will you supply? Where your intentions will not correspond to each other anymore. And what I mean is that what doesn't your service include or product, and you have to define it very properly. So by selling me your car, do you also sell a car wash, an oil change, a concierge service? By providing me your consulting services, do you also provide me the success of my business? Will they result in actual growth of my sales? Define it in a very simple, clear way. So your customer will know what they buy, what they pay for, and what they didn't pay for. And that is also important for you because a client might want that additional thing, that additional completation to the vehicle or additional hour of consultation, and you would be able to provide it, but for additional pay. Maybe you won't be able to provide it, and then your customer cannot expect it from you to do. Second, define properly how, when, where you provide your services or products. Timelines, geographical locations. These are not always clear, especially in long-going agreements. When it's not just I come to a store, I buy coffee and I leave. When you supply certain products along certain stretch of time. If you do import-export operations, define where exactly is the point of supply. If it's in your location, then client should know that they're responsible for export operations, for import to their country, customs documentation. If it's on their side, then you should know that you're responsible for that. That should also affect the cost of your product or your services. That point brings us to the next topic, and that's the liabilities. So at which point the ownership of product that you supply is being transferred to the client. And that is important because that affects the question who's responsible for the loss. So if you ship a vehicle and the vehicle is being destroyed in a storm, who's responsible for the loss? If it's you, that's okay, but in your price you should include the cost of insurance. If it's client, then it's also okay, but the client should know that and purchase the necessary insurance to cover the losses, or at least to know that the risk is there. Define where your liabilities lay, and most importantly, where they do not. While you sell a vehicle, are you liable for the damages that the driver will cause with that vehicle. When you provide a consulting services, are you liable for the success or lack of such success by the business? Define the limits of liability. So when you sell a cup of coffee for $1, will you be liable for $500,000 damages? So maybe you will limit your liability by $5, by $100, whatever is convenient for you. Make sure that these are properly defined in the agreement. Many contracts can result in certain dissatisfaction, conflicts between you and your clients, and the better the resolution process is defined, the simpler it is for you to deal with. Whether it would be with arbitration or court system, define where. If you supply something from Canada to Europe, would you like to go to the country of supply to be sued? Would you force your client to come to Canada to be sued? Will you choose some country in between to use their legal system as a neutral one to resolve conflicts? Make sure these are defined. Then again, when you're done with your agreement, make sure you properly define the parties. Of course, it's easier for you to write your company at the header of the agreement. You know what it is. Make sure that the client is defined in a proper and very clear way. So if a husband gets something, can wife insist on getting the same or continue or change the agreement? And that applies to businesses as well. So if my holding company purchased services, do they also apply to my affiliated companies? Can I demand from you to do those services? These definitions are very important. If you get services from someone and those services are not good enough and you want to sue, you want to know whom you're suing, make sure that you get the documentation proving the exact name, exact location of the business that you work with and the people responsible for that business, so you can go and come with certain questions, demands to those people. So these are the basics for the agreement. To expect from every business owner to sit down and write an agreement, I think that wouldn't be prudent. I also think that wouldn't be cost effective. No matter how your service is, expensive or cheap, you sell coffees or you sell cars, have a professional prepare it for you. You can come to us and we'll help you to do your agreements. You can go to a lawyer, order these services from someone else, but make sure that you have a professional who understands your business, who understands how the processes between you and your client work, and then defines in the agreement the boundaries of those processes, the boundaries of liabilities, the expectations of the parties, and my advice, make it as simple as possible. Don't overcomplicate. I never saw anyone happy from overcomplicated agreements. Sometimes they just delay the process, they extend the time between you approaching the client and them signing the agreement. Simple, more or less mutual, protect your interest, protect client's interest, give them the information to work with, and make sure that that is accessible no matter what your business is. If you work with clients and you send them your documents, it's simple. But what if the client comes to your store to buy something? Make sure that you advise them of what the terms and conditions are. Refer them to the document. Online business, the same. Make sure that your terms and conditions or terms of use are expressly noted on your website and people can read it. These points are important. These points, in addition to protecting you, create a sense of working with a serious business that respects its clients, business that respects itself, provides certain protection to clients. It just will improve your relations with professional clients, and at the end of the day, that's what we all try to do, to get happy clients that like us and like working with us. So if you need help with the agreements, if you have any questions about what that agreement should include, as I always say, detailed, particular, identifiable questions better sent through our website, www.cbes.ca, contact us page, email me, I'll respond. General questions, if you want more explanations, if there are certain issues that you want us to address for your business or for business in general, put in the comment section below, and I always read your comments and respond to them. Let us know, we'll answer your questions. So thank you for being with us again. CBS, Canadian Business and Enterprise Services. Subscribe, follow us, visit our website, ask your questions, give us your feedback, whether positive, negative, as long as it's constructive and helps us to improve, help you. We will be happy to hear it. Thank you. Bye.